real.
I mean, if you see me in the black wig and the stripy, and you see Hans Peter in that outfit, you probably go, "Ah, must be an Alex Harvey."
Good evening, boys and girls. We are a rock and roll band who only play music from the Sensational Alex Harvey Band. We are called not the Sensational Alex Harvey Band. It's nice to see you all here tonight. We want to take you down into the Louisiana swamp. Because we know that you like that. You look like just the man.
You know, when I went to the first gig and you told me about it, and you said, so this is not the Alex Harvey Band, or the
Not the Sensational.
not the
Sensational Alex
Sensational.
Harvey.
I was thinking, okay, I got that now. What is it?
Everything else?
Yeah, everything else. Yeah. That's a good one.
I was confused for years.
Yeah, we get.
But now I got
we
it.
get the not sensational Alex Harvey Band.
It's all
They call
about-
us the
No.
It's all
no,
about
not
that, but
the-
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you call it, some people would call us. They didn't quite get that. They always think that a band name starts with the, so it's like the Sensational Alex Harvey Band, and then some people were calling us the not sensational Alex Harvey Band. Which was
That's
like,
not
no, hang
right.
on, wait, no, wait.
But in Scotland, they call us the Knots.
The knots, yeah,
Not
knots.
the nuts.
The nuts.
The
Yeah.
Knots.
Knots.
The knots, yeah, we do get that, yeah.
Yeah, but they also call us the nuts.
No, they don't.
Only you. Maybe they call only you the
Yes.
nut. The nutty professor.
Donut?
Donut?
The donuts. But the knots, we get called the knots
Chocolate?
by the Sav fans.
Yes.
quite a lot, yeah.
I serve some chocolate now. Slow motion now, please. Thank you.
I can do that later. I can do that.
Cool.
How long do we know you, Baldi?
Too long.
I know Baldy longer.
We met a few years ago.
I know you.
I know Lev longer.
Too long.
Is he running?
than you guys.
Yes, it's running.
Hello.
Because first we played a long time without the drummer, right?
Is this part of the show, or we started?
We had no real drummer.
Yeah, this is correct. But really,
And we met every week. We we rehearsed every week without a drummer. Can you imagine?
No, we didn't.
that?
Ja, aber damals haben wir Musik gemacht und nachher ist ein Drummer gekommen.
yeah.
For those of you who know nothing about Alex Harvey, you might actually know this song.
And first we had many drummers.
No, we had about four.
We changed them regularly.
We
because
had,
they were
we had your nephew or somebody. Remember the boy that came once? He played with us
Yeah.
at the open mic.
and then he was weak.
Oh no, das was...
That was from you.
He said,
From a
I'm
friend.
too
Yeah.
tired. I don't manage to come
And
to
then
the
we had-
rehearsal.
then
and
we
then
had-
we fired him. And he
We
wasn't
fired
bad,
him.
but we
fired him
because
after he quit. I quit. You're fired.
we had a professional orchestra drummer for a while, and he said,
No, we didn't.
"You're, yes, yeah, we tried him out twice or so,
Who?
I think.
Mhm.
It was this guy from the orchestra.
From the orchestra.
Yeah. He was a professional drummer from the orchestra, and he said,
Is an
"You
organ.
guys are too good to play the music you want to play." And then you taught him a lesson.
No, I
You
only
said,
came once,
You
we
have
just tried it."
no idea
No,
what
the-
you're talking about. We told him when he refused, or he wanted to suggest we should
No,
play
the guy.
more commercial music or
That
something.
guy-
As good as musicians we would be, we should play something else.
That guy came in to. He came in as a tribute band, wanting to play the Sensational Alex Harvey Band, and he came in and said we should be a tribute to the band called Sega.
Sega, something like
That's
that.
what I did.
It's a
Sega.
computer game.
Yeah, that's right.
Sega
That's right,
game.
that's right.
And
Crazy
which is
guy.
just weird. It's like a guy who goes to join an AC/DC tribute band saying, "I think you guys should play Whitesnake,"
Yeah.
or something like that. It was quite odd.
It was
Yeah.
really odd.
Yeah, but he was
Really
quite
odd.
yeah. And we had
And
a
then-
guy who turned up who looked just like Alex Harvey. That was weird.
Oh.
Remember the guy who came? He was really good as well. He played really well. Remember the fella that came? You got him off an ad.
But then
Is
people
it
would.
interesting?
You mean at the
Var
beginning?
ambition fullt, aber
The guy we had at the
really good
beginning?
drummer. Yeah, remember him?
Roland or something?
No, he came first. This guy, he was one of the ones. I don't know. We had Reto for a few sessions.
Yeah, Reto for a
He was
few
a great
sessions,
drummer,
That's
he was
right.
really
He
good.
was a great drummer. That's right.
but
I
he
regretted
wasn't-
to lose him.
He wasn't into
And
the
we
music.
had a
Didn't like
Uri- what was it?
But there's one guy. We had a few sessions that we did with individual drummers that didn't work out. But there's that one. The one that was the most striking was the guy who came in, and he looked just like Alex Harvey. It was so weird. He had all his like facial tics and everything. It was really strange.
So then if.
And he had no idea who Alex Harvey was. He had no idea. I think he just saw an ad and thought, "Oh, I'll try out, see what it's about."
So it was him, maybe.
It might have been the Swiss Alex Harvey.
Spooky now. It's really spooky.
Alex Harvey maybe had a son
place is
when he was
haunted.
touring Switzerland that
Oh.
nobody knows about. Not even the son knows about it, and that was him.
Yeah,
Come to
okay.
play in our band. He was drawn to it somehow.
And then for a while we just thought, let's give
Okay.
up on these bloody drummers.
When you shagged my
we-
sister in
Yeah,
1963.
in 1963.
Yeah.
And,
That would have been about right, 'cause he was about that.
So we rehearsed. We rehearsed without the bloody drummer, and that was
Yeah.
good actually because
And-
we developed some rhythm and some groove.
Yeah.
Very different.
We developed an extreme sense of melody, but no timing whatsoever.
Still today.
and then one day we found Baldi. How did we find you actually?
Well,
New Baldi.
We know each
We know
other.
each other, yeah.
Years before.
That's why.
We were friends. Yeah,
Really?
we're friends.
Really?
I had a band back in 2005. I play
Yeah.
with, and then my
You had
band
5
and his
bands.
Oh yeah.
And then we have a show together.
That was good.
No, that was the Velvet Underground tribute
Oh, it was a
band.
tribute. Yeah, yeah.
And you play with Slow.
With that's right. Yeah, in Fullmont Tavern.
Yeah, and then we met
Central
us.
Strasse, yeah.
And my guitar player was also a Scotsman.
Yeah.
And a few months after this show where I met you,
Yeah.
he told me, "Hey, Gordon has an Alex Harvey tribute band." He told me, and I think, wow, why? Cool.
Mad people.
I'm gonna ask
that would
him.
join.
I asked my guitar player, "Do they need a drummer?" And he said, "I don't know. Ask Gordon." Then we met us at the Café Romand,
Yeah, that's right.
2006, April or March, and then
That's
I
right,
ask you,
yeah.
"You need a drummer?" First you say, "Now we're checking out." So
We just fired one.
But a few days later, you call me.
After he quit.
Yeah. And then you call me back. Hey, you can
Yeah.
try. And then it was in May 2006. I joined.
Yeah.
I came down here.
Yeah,
And,
that's when we fired this weak guy. We had a gig with
We
him
didn't fire him.
yeah, Café Romand
in
again.
Café Roma, and we had a
Yeah.
gig with him.
He quit. Then we fired him.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that too. It's okay.
And then
If I quit, I'm fired. And when they
and
fire me,
Baldi-
I'm gonna quit.
Baldi was very nervous.
You're fired. I quit.
You were very nervous. He told us later, in the beginning.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was nervous not because of you.
Yeah.
I was nervous. Do I know really the songs of Alex Harvey? I have the first 3 records at home. I listen to it before I go to the casting.
Then we played the other 3 records.
And then the first one was framed and 2 other, and then and then they go with the other 3 records, and I was like, "Fuck off, you're boring."
Yeah.
But they never asked
Yeah.
me. No, they never told me you're in the band.
Yeah, he's not officially in the band.
I'm still just a.
He's a
There's
session.
There's a name on the website.
He's a session musician who doesn't
Yeah,
get
we
paid.
don't have names. We don't have names. No names.
Yeah.
No names.
Do we have no names on the website?
So you do have names.
I think we
have
say
names.
not Chris and not.
Yeah,
Alex.
Yeah, the not
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
But I do have, Gordon, Andreas, Hans Peter,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did. Must
Peter.
have put it on there.
Mm-hmm.
and then I even have Eva
Mm-hmm.
and Ina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how about them?
They're
in his flat.
You know,
He made them.
He made them.
I made them. Yeah, that's right.
One
I made
stormy night in the 70s.
Yeah, well,
when the lights went out.
he was weak. He was weak and drunk, and then he
You
made
know,
them.
I paid the younger girl when she was 4 till 20.
Sadly, he makes
I
some
paid
clones.
He got his
all
wife
the time the ballet, which
Too much fish
which I
there.
found. Why
Oh
do
my
they
God.
want to go to the ballet? But they were very keen to do that. So.
Is that your daughter?
Yes.
Oh my
yes, Yes. Yes.
You'd never know, would you? She's actually quite good looking.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Kelly family. It's a family thing.
But he looks so young, he must be the granddaddy.
Yeah. Younger. Our younger.
He is a granddaddy.
I am.
Really?
That's right.
You're not.
Yeah.
Are
He
you?
is.
Are you?
So they went to
No,
ballet,
I
they
don't
went
know.
to dancing lessons, all
Possible.
sorts of things. They went to acting, they went to film school. There. So that's why then one day we said, how did this happen actually? We said maybe they can do something along, and
I don't know how that happened.
I
actually.
don't know
That
really
was
how that
odd,
happened,
wasn't it?
and I was very reluctant because they were my girls. So I thought maybe
You
that's
didn't
not
want
such a
to-
good idea. And
Yeah.
he still thinks it's not a good idea
No.
sometimes.
Well,
No, oh, okay.
I thought it was great. They turned up and I got them to dress in fishnet tights and bin bags.
So we first had to do a tour to actually really everyone being convinced that the girls belong to us.
Yeah, they go down really well in Scotland. When they come.
Can we just have a round of applause for Ida the fish? Her dad is really pleased because when she lives in Mexico and she doesn't really like to see her family much, but when she heard that we were playing a gig and that she could dance, she came all the way here. That's it.
So we played in Wales and we played in Scotland, and that was our first big tour. When was that?
Before that, we'd always played in Germany.
Germany, yeah.
Really?
And so
Yeah, Zurich.
it
Germany.
really worked out well with the girls
Germany.
on that tour in particular. So then Bob said,
Sweden. This must be Sweden.
Sweden, yeah. We played in Sweden. Zurich, Sweden.
What about Buenos Aires? Anybody who's
Yeah, I've got to
remember?
We don't make much sense.
Now we play a few shows down here in Switzerland. First. I mean Switzerland and Alex Harvey.
Yeah.
Alex Harvey wasn't really big in Switzerland.
They have pockets of fans in weird places.
but those pockets are small.
Those pockets are small.
Where are they?
Cleveland.
Wow.
And but there's also it's also quite. I mean, pretty much most people in Scotland of a certain age know about Alex Harvey. But if you start going outside of it, even if you go down to England, it's like pockets. So Wales, he's quite known in Wales because he covered Delilah, so it's Tom Jones. So so they really like that because it's like they think they might think it's like a homage to one of theirs, in a way, which I suppose it might be actually, probably. And so they liked Alex Harvey, and they're a bit mad as well. And Alex Harvey was also a bit mad, so I think there was definitely
Just a
worked.
tiny little bit.
Tiny bit, in a good
Yeah,
way. In a
tiny
good way.
bit.
Yeah. But in England, there's like, it's not everywhere. It's like just there's an odd town where it really works, and it's obviously quite. It's even the band themselves know this, that if they played gigs in certain towns, no one came. Whereas if they played gigs in another town, it would they'd have a full house.
Yeah.
but it's
The same happened to us.
yeah, many times
Do you think?
for different reasons. When we went at first, we had not so great turnouts. When we went to Scotland at first, we played
The first
Edinburgh.
time,
We played a little bar in Edinburgh twice.
No.
It was during the festival. and it's-
What was that? The Red Wee
The wee red
bar?
bar. It's quite a nice little bar. It's good. It's perfect. It's the right size for us because it doesn't fit more than 100 people. So we don't really want to play anything too big. I feel because it's better having a full bar than a half-empty hall. Basically, that's better. So
And it's also good to get the audience involved,
yeah,
as you like to do.
Yes,
right?
it is
Particularly
smart.
the women.
the women.
Yeah.
What women?
In Saint.
We have women?
In
Nice.
Saint.
Nobody told me that.
For instance.
You never
Bastard.
You never saw the. You can't tell the women from the men with their audiences.
Okay.
But I suppose your audience is not limited to that of the original band. So
No, not at all.
It's not
spread out.
limited to. I would say when we play in Scotland, it is almost exclusively
really
limited to fans of the original band. Yeah. But when we play here, then it's like in Langstar. It's probably hardly anyone there who didn't know us that was there would know anything about Alex Harvey. There's one or two. There were one or two that came. There's a couple of guys that have been following us around here when we play.
We have regularly people who had no idea about it, and then they got hooked. So they start to like it.
Yeah, they start. I think when they get it and they see the show
When,
and stuff.
when they once happen to run into a show or so, then we had several people who really.
I guess you started the band, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I just like the sound of the band. Very long time.
Yeah.
And sometimes, if I was eating salad, I think I have to do it.
So when you're eating
Good ideas
salad,
come only if you eat salad.
Salad.
For sure.
what's the relationship between salad and Alex Harvey?
Is that salad an anagram for Alex?
Jetzt aber, Hans, jetzt musst du das sagen.
Was habe ich gemacht?
Was ist denn
Ja.
der Zusammenhang von Alex Harvey und Salat?
What has salad?
Salat.
What has salad got to do
with
with Alex Harvey?
Alex Harvey and Sal.
Es ist mehr good ideas
Sal.
than salad. Eating
Salad. Salad.
Sal.
Salad.
Cut that out. Cut it from the DVD then. Okay.
He is a Sal fan.
Salad.
Salad Clemenson.
Yeah.
It's good.
Salad Clemenson.
Let's use it. That's your
Salad
new name.
Clemenson.
Not salad.
Not
you-
salad.
Green salad. Green salad.
Yeah.
Zürichdeutsch.
Müsli-Salat.
In Zürichdeutsch.
Yeah.
Ich habe einfach gefunden, es ist interessant,
Yeah.
einmal hinter einer Maske zu spielen, mal schauen, wie sich das anfühlt. Und so mal so ein bisschen eine Show machen, auf die Art, nicht nur Musik. Da habe ich gar noch nicht an Girls gedacht, sondern nur an Leute, die irgendwer darstellen. Oder?
Well, and how is it? Is it like you expected?
Und das hat sich irgendwie verändert. Ab und zu habe ich das Gefühl, ich müsse mich nicht mehr anmalen und dann male ich mich noch an, weil das vielleicht die Leute noch wollen. Ja.
Ja.
Gehört zu der Show. Am Anfang war es lustig, wirklich an der Mimik ein bisschen arbeiten und schauen.
I liked your shorts. Yeah, the
With
short.
the Swiss flag.
Yeah.
When did you start that? That was last time.
After an AC/DC show.
Yeah.
I saw Angus strips one time.
Strip.
Strips totally put clothes up and then he put off the pants. And they have underwear pants.
That's with the Swiss flag, really? He did that in here?
In each country he does with the
Okay.
country flag.
That's a good trick.
Good idea. you have it, you know.
At first I have
You know, he
under the
played in a
pants and
kilt
now-
in Scotland. Huh? Oder?
Hmm?
You played in a kilt in Scotland, and
Yes.
then we were all keen to. Everybody's always keen what's underneath a kilt,
Yeah.
right? So we lifted the kilt. At
We
some
did.
point,
Don't include me in this. I did.
and there you go. A Swiss flag was underneath the kilt.
Did you lift his coat up?
No, the girls did, I think.
Right.
The girls did.
Your
Oh.
daughters.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought it was the lipstick of your wife.
Because we all know that you're a bunch of sinning fuckers, we know this. And you need curing.
It's that you're really kind of playing those characters. And
No.
no?
No, we're not the sensational Alex Harvey.
How does it feel? Do you like? Now you've been playing that for a few years, and
We're about 8 years now, aren't we?
did it
Yeah.
change your personality?
I think it's well, from my, I think if you put on, I mean, like it's like Hans Peter putting on the mask, and if you put on a wig and stuff, it gives you. You do feel as if you have a lot more license to play around a lot more. You're much freer somehow, in a sense, than I think you would be if you were just
Really?
not. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you,
Are
feel
you?
as, you do feel as if you can get away with a lot more.
Okay.
But I don't think it changes your personality.
No.
But it is an act.
we have a few things in common, I think, with the original band, and that is that we also like to be a bit crazy, and so, but that's then maybe all of the commonality. I mean, he likes to with the wig and so on. He likes to give a bit the impression of being Alex, which you actually managed quite well.
Yeah, but I never actually.
But it's not. It's.
I never actually
it's-
tried to
we
copy
never
Alex.
we never wanted to
Yeah.
imitate them. We think this is one of the most boring things you can do if you try to imitate a band and copy it as exactly as possible. It's terrible because you never manage to do it, and you always sort of give the idea to the audience to compare. And you're never the same, so then you will always fail. What's that good for? And anyway, it was never our ambition to do that. So our ambition was to play good music, to play the music we liked, and to have fun and to be crazy.
Good energy.
And that's why we always wanted to make clear we're not really one of these imitating, copying cover bands or tribute bands. We want to be not the sensational Alex
But we
Harvey
do
band.
use. I mean, certainly Hans Peter and I. We use the visual cues of. I mean, I wear a black wig and a stripy T-shirt like Alex Harvey did, and Hans Peter puts on a similar makeup thing to.
But
sort of
everybody
Clemens.
thinks it's a kiss. Because
Yeah, well, everyone who doesn't know what Alex
No,
Harvey is,
yeah,
then
exactly.
they know that. But I mean,
they have no idea about Zal.
I don't know when Zal's. They started that because
way before Kiss.
it was. I don't know if it was way before Kiss. I'm not sure when Kiss started that. But when Alex Harvey's,
It was before
he
Kiss.
wanted.
They are close.
He'd seen that mime artist in a theatre. Is it the French guy Marceau? What's his name? You know, the guy who painted his face white.
Yeah.
And he noticed that it really, even though he was a tiny figure on the stage, it really projected him into the audience.
I remember
So-
Marcel Marceau.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Marcel.
and because of that, that's why they started getting Zal to put on face makeup, because it just made his character so much bigger. So that's why they started that. So I mean, it's a visual cue. I mean, if you see me in the black wig and the stripy, and you see Hans Peter in that outfit, you probably go, that must be an Alex Harvey.
You have your glasses and your earring, and then you have your hat.
He never takes that off. He goes to work like that.
To bed.
That's the same.
read something about Jacques Brel when I researched about Alex Harvey. And so, what do you think about that? Was he influenced by Jacques Brel?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That was a great song.
I think Alex Harvey
Right.
was always looking for old. He had a lot of knowledge of old music from the 1920s up, old blues and chanson, and lots of different things. And he, unusually, because he was a lot older than the other members of the band. He was a good 20 years older than they were. He would introduce them to all this older music, basically, because he had started doing music. He had a career of 20 to 30 years before he met those guys.
And he was in
Yeah.
a musical hair.
So he'd been around, really, certainly when rock and roll was just kind of forming into what it was, So he brought other music with him, which was what made Saab quite interesting. Was that they did have this weird mix of stuff that was like they'd suddenly have a music hall piece, and it's like, where's that? And then they'd have a hard blues rock number, and then they'd do a Jacques Brel song out of the blue, which not so many other people were doing at that time. So it made them a bit unique. But I think people like Brel definitely influenced him.
That's us? No. Huh?
No, that's not us. Oh God.
Du bist schon ein guter Musiker, du hast einfach keine guten Ohren.
Yeah. We have deaf people in the band.
You know what? I didn't know much about the original band.
Yeah.
Actually, I hadn't heard about it before I met. I hadn't heard
Us
about
guys,
it after
you know.
I met you. But, I'm sorry.
Before you met us.
Yeah, before I saw your first gig.
Yeah, you came to Club Hay, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
You came to Club Hay. We played in Club Hay.
All right. I don't remember which club that was.
It
but,
was the one at Bellevue.
Yeah, I remember how it looked inside a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyways, I didn't know about it, but I can tell, the music is not, it doesn't get boring. Even if you, hear the stuff again and again.
I don't think they got so locked into any particular style in a way. They wanted, I think, yeah. And probably had a lot to do with I think maybe the age difference between Alex Harvey and the rest of the band actually probably had quite a lot to do with that. That they had
Not
these
only.
two.
I mean, Zal is a big Zappa fan, for instance, and so on. You have a lot of, it's a lot of musical influences which are keen on musical variety and for the music itself. That is an important drive, I think, behind it, and that always prevents you from just applying a formula only because you were once successful.
Mhm.
That never is satisfying, actually, and that's also for us important, because otherwise I think we would have lost motivation if it wouldn't be interesting, and if we couldn't gain again and again interesting things. And
Yeah.
we also have been playing a lot of songs. We could easily play, I don't know, many nights because of all the variety we have of the possibilities you can do, and that's really it's actually kind
How many albums?
keeping everything alive, and also the spirit a bit alive if you have variety and if it's musically rich.
I think it's about 7 or 8. How many records?
A lot.
Yeah.
It's about 7 or 8. They
Yeah.
released about one for each year, which was standard for most bands then. They would release an album a year, normally. But I think they got about 8. I think it's about 8. Because they played for about 8 years all in, I think. Yeah.
And many of us have also a lot of different roots or different bands. I mean, he's playing. How many bands do you play? 5 or still?
About, yeah.
About 5 bands.
So
And
you have a rehearsal every night?
Almost, yeah.
Catholics and live.
And
and,
few gigs.
he played also in several bands. He was you had your own. You
I've got different
produced
things.
many CDs. I was in the progressive rock scene when Crocus then came afterwards. So I was in the end of 60s, early 70s, where a lot of things happened.
He's old.
Huh? Yes. You wouldn't give it to me, huh? Yeah. That's right. Pink. We should have been support of Pink Floyd when I left that band. We had a tour.
But
made.
you didn't
And,
have.
and Pink Floyd was not a big name at that time.
When?
When we had
What year
the
was it?
arrangement to be support
What-
of
what
Pink
year
Floyd
was
to
it?
go on tour.
What year?
That was 70, 69.
Okay.
I didn't know there was any year where Pink Floyd was not a big name.
I mean, we knew it, you know, as
are Pink Floyd.
underground you knew it, and inside you knew it, but it wasn't so big as it is now, I would say.
She's quite a good. I like that Pink.
And how about you? You had also other bands.
Well, a few bands, rock bands, new wave bands, punk bands, hard rock bands.
And now you just want to stick to this one. And
She's got 2.
Yes, I have another
No,
one.
no.
Yeah. And you want another
We
one?
started to write original songs, home songs. Not really yet.
And you,
Well, I look for a third one,
what kind?
but open rock, funk. A bit. I want to go a bit like Direction Mother's Finest this way. Hard rock, funk.
Okay.
With newer crossover influences from South America. I liked it.
That's pretty precise.
Mhm.
But I don't find something.
You have really.
I think in
clear-
4 years I want to stop working.
And
To
live
go in
with just the
pension,
music.
have my rent small, and do the rest from the money with music.
Yeah.
Are you planning to
As
stay?
I dreamed a life about to live from music, and I want to start in 4 years.
Well, I hope it works out.
We'll see.
Do you live in Zurich? Are you in Zurich?
No, near,
Yeah.
in Aargau.
So I guess
Rui.
What?
In Aargau. Bonn.
No, he's talking now. I'm not in the band, sorry.
Aber Aargau.
Nothing to do with that. Be for Zurich.
He quit shortly before he was 5.
Alright, so I suppose this is a small version of Switzerland, the typical kind of discussions.
Yes. One will hear it
Yeah.
again and again.
He's the one with horses.
He's got horses.
He's got one horse.
One.
And a small one.
One horse.
Small.
But it's
He's
bigger.
riding many.
A fast one.
A fast,
A
small and
small
fast.
fast one.
Yeah.
It's like Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Cheap and fast.
Yeah, cool.
Just one.
we
Just like
we
one
are
ice-
the bigger one, the
Icelandic
band.
horse.
Slow. We are his other horse.
Yeah.
That's another band.
That's the Alex Hart. It's the
That's
guy.
the original
bassist from
bass
the-
player. You
Oh,
know?
you've met the
Yeah.
original.
Oh yeah.
A few.
Yeah.
2.
So the bass and
The bass player.
Guitar player.
Yeah. The bass player once came to Switzerland and he was with Michael Schenker playing a gig, and Hansby and I went there and we went to him and introduced ourselves, and he said, "Yeah, I think I heard something about you," and we immediately got actually quite. He was a nice guy.
I thought this was just,
Huh?
it was Catherine who managed the first contact in Bern.
Catherine's sister. Catherine is.
I have met her in the
Chris's-
forum.
Yeah.
So
Okay. But I just went up to him and we introduced ourselves, and we could immediately. Get
But he's very
along.
friendly.
Very
So-
friendly. We could get along very nicely,
And he has the same age like he.
yeah, and he started to kiss
That means
us
they're
and,
old.
things like that.
And have I told you?
Huh?
You remember?
Yeah.
I don't want to
and
explain.
I fucked this one and I fucked that one. And,
I fucked her after.
yeah, he always tells.
After to the LT
He's a bit crazy. Chris is always bragging about something.
Michael don't speak a lot.
Yep. No, he plays.
Is that the same kind of characters as you guys? No.
What in what?
Like he.
Oh,
What?
One is
Chris is like
bragging,
you.
the
Cut
other
it, cut
one-
it. It's not on DVD. Sorry, folks.
What is?
and he was playing bass
Chris was
there.
bass. He played bass with Michael Schenker after he left the Alex Harvey band. After, well, yeah, it was actually after Alex quit. He stopped the band. He left basically. He was the one that stopped the band.
Why did he do that? Do you know?
Because I think he was basically kind of just
Fed up?
He was fed up with a lot of things, and couldn't do it anymore, and decided to leave. From what I understand, he did actually try to reform the band afterwards, but by that time, Zal had moved on to Nazareth.
The Zal band.
Well, the Zal band came a little bit after, but there was Nazareth. He got offered the job with Nazareth, which is
He does 2 records with Nazareth.
at the time was a bigger gig than with the Alex Harvey band. So because they're good.
Yeah, and the drummer joined the Rory Gallagher band. And then after that, he joined with the bass player, this Michael Schenker group.
Exactly. Chris got Ted, the drummer, a job playing with the Michael Schenker group.
Yeah, they were busy after the split up of the Alex Harvey.
Because they had a good reputation amongst musicians,
Good
so lots
musicians,
of people wanted to.
Yeah, they were
It's
really
always
good
later
musicians,
by Ilky
I have
Books.
to say.
Yeah.
So there were no shortage of offers. And then Alex, when he wanted to reform, they were all
Somewhere else.
elsewhere. So he formed a band with other musicians, but it was never as good as what they had. It was never the same, really. I mean, I think Alex's health was worse anyway by then, and the band wasn't as just they had this spark that together that really totally worked. I think when they were together. Well, Chris still does. He occasionally does some work with Michael Schenker.
But not in Scotland.
If they play, yeah.
Whenever
He was on. He played.
I mean, they tour all the world.
Schenker.
No, Chris is only
For Europe.
finally into Europe.
Only Europe now.
And not only as well, because he only if Schenker needs a bassist where he's playing, Chris is one of the many bassists that Schenker chooses basically, because he doesn't just have Chris. He's got other. There's a whole load of them that he can pick from basically. That want
So
to
when you play in Scotland and when you play in Switzerland, how does the audience differ?
Well, when
It's a thing like they know the lyrics. In
In Scotland?
Scotland, each sings from start of the concert till the end, each
Yeah.
song.
yeah.
He knows.
And
he
the
know
Scots
verses
understand
and
the
it's
jokes better.
Oh yes.
But they know the lyrics. They know all the lyrics.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can't. If you make one false move on the lyrics, they know that you've screwed it up.
hard work.
So you're more relaxed in Switzerland.
No, it doesn't. It's okay. I mean, I'm not so bad. I mean, I've got a few places where I'm a bit dodgy on the lyrics, but it's mainly I've got it down. There's one or two songs where, and you get these bits where you just suddenly go like blank,
Yeah.
you know. And but they're always watching.
And he always has
That's
ideas.
why I looked for to play Sal. But Sal doesn't play the same solo a second time.
Yeah.
And so I can do the same.
Well, that's a good trick.
Yeah, and then when we played in Scotland, they came to see us. and
Chris came and saw us.
regularly
And
introduced
Zal
us.
has been to see us.
Sal one
Yeah.
day he just showed up, and we had sound check, and he said,
Yeah.
"I'm Sal."
Whenever
Hi. And they introduced us, which was really marvelous.
Yeah, and whenever we go, Chris, if we play Glasgow, Chris comes and introduces us now. So that's always really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do they, would they ever like jump in and play one song or something?
I think Chris probably would play bass if you gave him one. And then you'd never get him off the stage.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But
But they also gave us their instruments. For instance, Hansby could get Zal's guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Or
Yeah.
I also got Chris' bass.
yeah, you
once.
played with Chris bass, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't like it, did you?
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. It was okay. Yeah.
Paul,
But
do you
it's
have-
not as good as mine.
Paul, do you have Ted's red wine?
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ted's
And it-
never come to it.
Always rent the drums and it's okay.
And it's kind of nice that they endorse us. I have to say, this is not. It's not necessarily the case.
I mean,
because
for them, we are
first I
exotic.
feared-
We are exotic. I mean, Switzerland is not the rock and roll land #1 in the world. Hmm? And now some Swiss guys came and played their holy songs. I mean,
Yeah, as it was really at the
For-
beginning.
for them
were
we are
wondering,
exotics.
how would they react? Because they could also react very negatively,
Yeah.
possibly. And I have to say, so far that was really
they're very generous.
very generous. Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
they're
and
funny.
actually endorsed us, introduced us,
And been,
lauded us,
become friends. And,
and became friends.
Yeah.
That's really it's kind of
Yeah.
nice, and that's something we never thought possible actually when we started.
it's a bit like going into a big family,
Yeah.
in a sense, actually. There's a core of Sab fans that they'll go to anything Sab related, anything that's related to Alex Harvey.
And if they gave you their instruments, it's very symbolic. It's like you're the continuation. And it's really nice.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, for us it was always difficult if we go with a plane, then we would like to minimize all our gear which we take along, and
Yeah, a
and
few
so
of
that
us.
helped us.
A few of us.
What?
Right, so a few of us, that's right. A few of us.
Yep. Go on.
Especially
You know, the bass player has the biggest
Yeah. Biggest
tower.
but the girls are have the bigger cases.
Yeah, they
For
do.
their
actually,
clothes.
Yeah, for their clothes.
Remember Edinburgh last show? 2-time van out and try to get in.
man.
Anyway,
Like Tetris. Game, Tetris.
anyway,
Tetris.
so we were very
Was
glad
X.
that we could that they helped us with
Garderobe
all this
Anschluss.
gear,
This time.
and it was also of
Believe
course
it.
symbolic. I mean, for him, it was great to be able to play on Sal's guitar and Sal saying, "I'm not Sal." That's how he introduced us. He pointed to himself and said, "I'm not Sal. He is Sal."
That's the other way around. He's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hang on.
The way people look at Switzerland abroad, it is exotic. And so much that when I was in New York, I asked at a radio, you know, the CMJ.
Oh, the.
College Journal.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And
College Music Journal.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
And they, I asked them, there was this person from a radio station there, and I asked them, so who can I talk to with your organization for my music? And they said, where are you from? I said, I'm from Switzerland. And they said, well, our world music section is run by this guy. Like, what?
World music.
World
World
music.
music section. Yeah. You're coming from Switzerland.
Why not?
World music.
Alphorn.
We belong to the world. Yes.
And you are alien music.
Yeah.
I plays it Alphorn.
Yodel.
This is
Yodeling.
invasion. This is
Yodeling.
invasion, Earthlings.
Yodeling
Welcome
and
to
hacked
slavery.
music.
Do you have like in memory like this was our best gig?
Yes.
Yes.
Which one?
Anything about the song?
I have to say the Scots
Yeah.
bar was so crazy.
Scotia.
It's a Scotia bar. Sorry, Scotia bar. That was really that was amazing. First, my cello was stolen
Oh.
just
Yeah.
before the gig.
Oh.
Yes, there were some bloody guys coming and distracting us. One guy, and the other guy was
Oh, right, there's two.
stealing my cello, which was leaning across the car, and then it was gone, and it was just before the gig. Unfortunately, my daughter, she's really very observing. She saw this guy and she saw which direction he went, because that was in the middle of Scotland, the middle of Glasgow, and you had roads going everywhere, and you couldn't see those guys anywhere anymore. But she knew they were going this direction, and I ran after them. And she got scared and thought I am going to be killed, and I just took away the cello from them. They had carried it over their back, and were walking across a huge parking lot, and I just ran after them and grabbed it back.
Oh my.
And so I have it again. And so that was quite some excitement just before the
I could imagine them
the
getting home and opening it up and going,
Yeah, they would have no idea what to do with it. Yeah,
Too
it
much
was
air. Too much air in it.
completely silly. I had built that custom built in Canada.
What is this?
Unique instrument. You can't buy it,
Yeah.
but you have to play it in order to have anything from it. And I'm sure they wouldn't know how to do that. So anyway, and then this bar is very small, and it was crowded to the last corner. And so it was difficult for us to set up the stage to play. You were always bumping.
The back of the roof
everywhere
was
in
about this high, so we're like, it's like they were all playing in a box, and then it was
And-
like me and the girls are out the front, and the
so
girls
what,
were having
what should
to
the
go.
girls do? Huh?
They went behind the bar and on the bar.
So
and on the
Sabina, for
tables
instance,
and-
danced on a table,
Yeah.
ballet. She danced on the table, the ballet. Dance to your daddy. She makes a ballet number, classical ballet number.
But on a
And
table you could
On the
hit
table, yes, she could sort of
Yeah.
Hold herself.
It's
hold
the-
herself on the ceiling, yes.
It's
And the audience was sitting around that table where she was
Yeah.
dancing that.
and it's the
It was
second.
amazing,
I think it's the
amazing.
second oldest pub in Glasgow. Is it from about 1700 and something, or maybe even older? I'm not
It
sure.
was
but
really
it's-
amazing.
and the ceiling's really low. It was one of these old places, you know. So
Not our best gig otherwise musically, but
musically,
just
it was just a mess, but
it was it was different.
but it was such fun.
But the
Yeah,
spirit was there.
yeah it was.
Yes, yes.
And it was cool because
Completely crazy.
it actually the band used to drink there as well, so they'd been in there, you know. So there was just something about it. It was
They left
back in the
this-
70s. It was definitely one of the places where they went to. They were going for a drink, so it's kind of cool.
After eating by Dino.
After
Ferrari.
eating what?
Eating pizza by Dino Ferrari.
Pizza.
What's the best gig otherwise? I mean,
ferry.
Wales
The
was still
ferry.
good.
Wales and the
were
Park
good.
Hotel was pretty fun actually.
The ferry.
The ferry was
The
good.
ferry
yeah.
was also
We've had a
very
few
good, yeah.
that are really good. We've had good gigs, and the last two in Edinburgh have been really good.
The last one in Edinburgh.
The
was
last
also
one and
very
the
good.
one
Yeah,
before was
yeah,
also
in
great.
August.
Yeah. No,
Many.
In the ferry.
we've been having good gigs here.
Also, the one in Glasgow was also quite good, and
Yeah.
and that was an adventure because Baldy got sick.
Yeah.
Also, a few hours before the gig, he got sick, started vomiting. No way he could play. And so what would we do? It was a sold-out show in Glasgow, really big, not the Sensational Alex Harvey Band, 20 p.m. Saturday evening, Saturday night show. And so Chris came and he said, okay, maybe I can ask my drummer from my band.
No.
No, check.
No?
Check.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay.
Jack is one of the Sab fans. He's actually played in the other tribute band. There's a Glasgow tribute band
Oh, is
that
there?
he plays in that, and he actually plays now
So I
in the
got
other
this
tribute
wrong.
band that
Okay,
is in
okay.
Glasgow. And he said, Davey, who's the guy who plays for Chris when Chris plays, he
He knows the stuff.
he knows the stuff. So Colin, I know Davey. I know Davey Harvey, and so he came down.
So he came.
Yeah.
And we had never played together, not a single note, and we just went on
Yeah.
stage and played together.
But that was Jack. That was Jack.
So it was Jack, not Chris.
It was Jack, mate.
Okay.
So did you watch that gig?
No.
He
One
was
song on YouTube.
Yeah, back to the
Someone
hotel.
films and
Yeah.
I watched one.
It was
number.
funny. David asked Chris, have it a double bass pedal there on the drums? And Chris said, no, I don't know. And David, I have to know, is there a double bass engine? And I must have, Chris,
Oh, he
you can
wanted one.
organize me a double bass
He
machine?
needed one.
Yeah. And Chris said,
Davey wanted a double bass.
Yes,
And
yes,
then I-
yes.
What I have to do?
Without
Chris,
that,
what I
you
have to
wouldn't
do?
play.
I need a double bass.
Yeah.
And Chris said, why you don't bring it your own?
Yeah. Yeah. But,
Good idea.
but his name is Davey Halley, right? And so after he rescued us from the situation that we're in, they all started calling him Salvador Halley.
I don't know.
We never know how. We don't know.
No.
Every
They
tour.
fired me, but they can't remember.
Can't remember.
As long as you don't quit. So
He hasn't quit. Yeah, you gotta
I'm
quit
hap-
and be fired.
I'm so happy that I'm not gonna explode behind the drums. I mean,
We never know. Every tour could be the last.
yeah,
Yeah.
drummers usually explode
So,
behind
yeah,
their drums.
Really?
Yeah.
I've
But-
never seen that.
Yeah, you don't have to see it. It's not.
As long as there's another show booked, I suppose.
Nog een
Continue,
kleines
at least
Minzchen.
as long as that.
Ein klitzekleines Minzchen.
Yeah, but when you're on tour,
Monty
sometimes it's heavy. Because down here we're 3 hours each week. That's okay. But on tour you are 24 hours every day together.
Yeah.
Then somewhere
Then,
goes.
then you're happy when it's done.
In a way, yeah, but you learn a lot about the other ones.
Has its
There are
moments.
muck and mac things and
Yeah.
so. But no, I will do it again.
Really?
Next time, in the same room.
I'm gonna form a Bonnie M
yes,
tribute.
Yes.
Oh, my
After
God.
this.
Yeah. Bonnie
I've
M.
decided. Yeah. You want
What?
it? You in?
But not as a dancer, as a drummer.
No, I don't. I want to play the.
No, we should
tambourine.
make a Bay City Rolls tribute band. Scots.
Okay, I form a suite.
Trio Exter. No, Udo Jürgens tribute band. Now it's that.
Yeah.
Who's Udo? Who's Udo? Oh, I'm not Udo. Oh, no.
Entschuldigen Sie.
No.
66 Jahre Leben an.
Ja.
Ja.
Ja. Ja.
Nee, maar zijn voor die slapen. En voor die slapen kan hij zijn nog 66 gekrast mee.
Genau.
Zat
Genau,
dat.
du sagst es.
So, would you consider recording, maybe making an album or two with the original?
What for?
I have found a Firma,
Company?
ein Betrieb, macht presst Tourikafon, macht noch Schallplatte. Und ich habe mal ein bisschen die Idee gehabt, wir könnten wirklich.
Oh,
Die
yeah.
habe ich mal geredet drüber.
Okay.
Vinyl.
Kennst du ein LP in Vinyl?
That'd be
That
kind
would
of
be cool.
cool. Yeah.
He's a vinyl fan.
I'm not sure about recording the songs because the originals are so good that it's always going to be a kind of cheaper copy. Something I don't know. So it's like
At the beginning, we made a few.
we did it. We obviously
we
did a
made
demo,
a few,
but you
yeah.
need it. You need it for booking. You need to have some decent sound. I think we would do a better job of it now.
Yes.
I think so because we're more familiar with it and grown a bit with it, so it
Well,
would
we're a
sound
live
better,
band.
but it wouldn't
We're a
sound
live
as good
band.
as those original recordings. Because for me, if you hear those, they're fantastic, and so why make it again? Why even try? Really, we have fun playing live. That's our main thing.
Main thing is playing live.
It's a
It's a
show.
stage presence.
It's a show, and
yeah.
it has an energy
A show.
that is,
Yeah.
that is there at the time.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And recording then that would be more our own stuff. Something else.
Well, we could do the Sab stuff, but it would be like an archive almost for ourselves in a way. I think more than anybody else. I think it would just be
Yeah.
to say, okay, that's kind of nice that we made something together. Cause,
No, we have several of these things.
Yeah, we've got
I
the
maintain the
videos.
website. I try to.
we've got rough recordings
Yeah.
from in here and stuff. So yeah,
Some of that is available. Yeah.
yeah.
Is there anything of the original band? It's such a long name.
Sob.
Yeah.
You can just say Sob.
Sab, yeah.
The
it's
Sab.
actually
Okay, the Sab.
SAHB. Sab.
Yeah.
Simple.
Is there any songs that you didn't play?
Yeah.
Or you haven't played yet?
It's got a few, yeah.
Yeah.
So you
I mean,
haven't
the
played
ones
any?
which really need the keyboard are not necessarily the best ones for us sometimes.
I think we probably have about 60% of it.
But
Oh
we
yeah,
have a
still
lot.
some room to play
Yeah,
with.
but we've got the most of the main stuff we have in the set.
Even
hits.
the Giant
Yeah.
Stone
We had the
Eater, for
hits.
instance.
have the Pearls.
Which is a pretty crazy song, for instance.
We've got one or two that before we started doing it that we thought we'll never be able to
Yeah.
play this.
And to be
but,
honest, some songs we are not interested because we
Yeah.
don't like them, so we don't play them.
yeah, there's,
I mean, every band have songs
that, yeah,
you don't like it as a fan,
Mm.
and so we had a few.
Yeah,
Some we
but-
tried and they didn't work.
yeah.
Some we tried again and then they worked. But
And then the next day it didn't work again?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Boston Tea Party has a lot of keyboards.
We brought it back in. I quite
Yeah,
like it. I kind of like it.
sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
we gave
I mean,
birth to
sometimes
this
I
song.
can fill in certain things with the cello.
Yeah, you know.
And he plays a lot with also guitar parts, which are actually the keyboard parts.
Mhm.
If a song lives sometimes from some of these elements, the keyboard brings in, then you're gonna have to have it in some way. And then it's either him or me with the cello trying to do that. But there are some songs where you really would need to have all the instruments, including the keyboard, and then it can get quite
And on
difficult.
some stuff, they even had like a saxophone like that. We tried that Hole in Her Stocking song, which was too difficult for me to sing, and but also it had a sax in it, and that is a very cool element of the song. It's this good rock and roll saxophone, and if you kind of play it without that, it's like something's missing.
Some's really missing.
And then there's
yeah.
Bus Bar Blues, which we play, but it just sounds like a kind of, it's a blues song, but in the original they've got this really nice piano that just gives it this,
Honky tonk piano.
gives this
Honky-tonk
really
piano,
nice feel,
yeah.
and we can't have that.
Without piano, it sounds like a status quo.
Yeah, so it's
It's the refresh
so
boogie.
the different reasons. The
But
stuff.
other than that, yeah, and we are also always interested in playing things differently than how they played it and experimenting with that. And that's also something we should do even more, I think.
Mhm.
I guess once you've played them all like 20 times, you want to, you know.
I think
go
we could change
further.
things a bit. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Let's see if Chris and Val agree.
Actually, Alex
No, we
Harvey's
don't care.
Alex Harvey's son has
Yeah.
come to see us.
Oh.
He's come a few times actually to see us, and he's always suggesting off-the-wall ideas about you should do this with that and this with that, and this with that. He's obviously got his enough of his father in him to to be creative with the whole.
Does he have a band also?
No, he's an
No.
actor. He's an actor. He's a professional actor. But he's certainly got plenty of ideas about what we could do, and it's all stuff that you go, that's just too weird.
What can be weird, you know?
No, it's like there's weird and there's
Weird.
weird. Maybe we should dig out some of those ideas and apply them somehow.
Well, weird can be good.
Yeah, I think weird is great. I mean, it's just yeah.
If it's good, weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
and
you.
Stuff,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hanging around so late.
That's a pleasure.
Most welcome.
Thank you. Now you've got to do lots of editing.
Jeez. Don't speak anymore.
Wambo rules.
Rambo
Rambo
rules.
rules.
Rambo
Thanks a
rules.
lot.
On guitar, Hans Peter. On bass, I'm Chris from the Noble Frequency. On drums, Baldi. Our amazing dancer, Ina the Flesh. On the bottle, this man. And Happy Gordon. Thank you very much. Good night to you. Cheers.
I think he likes you.